3, 2, 1, we're on.
Great. Good afternoon and welcome to the Leading Women Entrepreneurs Press event. We are so excited to have everybody here with us today, and we have quite the show lined up. Not only do we have our virtual media panel who will be discussing the future of media, but as you know, after the media panel, we will be announcing the 2015 Top 25 Leading Women Entrepreneurs and our new category for entrepreneurs along with our nonprofit category. For those of you who are announced, you will be honored and recognized on November 16th at the Liberty House in Jersey City, New Jersey. So please, everyone, save that date regardless of whether you're a top 25. This will be a fantastic networking event, an event to celebrate the success of our women in this area. So before we officially start, I'd like to thank the lead sponsors of Leading Women Entrepreneurs. For without your unwavering support, none of this would be possible. So a huge thank you to TD Bank, Cone Resnick, MicroStrategies, Comcast, Morgan Stanley, and a special shout out to SocialFix, who is the host of this amazing event, and they have come up with this trend-setting technology, and we are thrilled that they came up with this screencast mission here. So, yes, thanks, Terry. So also a special thank you to the advisory board for helping to select this year's honorees. It is an extremely difficult task, and anyone who reads through all of these applications is inspired by everyone. So again, thank you to all of them. So just to give all of you who are not familiar with Leading Women Entrepreneurs, a little bit of background. First of all, I am the CEO and founder the organization, and we are a media and events company that connects and showcases leaders through our media partners, our networking events, our global retreats, and most recently our membership. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get involved here. But we have also been called a quasi-PR company for women leaders, and that is because it is our goal to harness the power of the media and to share these amazing stories to inspire and to empower others, right? And we have also built and we've evolved into providing an educational platform to continue to be a resource for your business growth, and that is the premise for the first half of today's event. And on this year's theme of embracing the future, because our 2015 nominees are shaping the future of our economy through innovation, market potential, advocacy for women, and community involvement. Every single woman here who has been nominated should feel so incredibly proud. You exemplify the true entrepreneurial spirit that is the future and the backbone of our entire country. And before we share this year's top 25 honorees, we will meet our expert panelists who also dedicate their careers and their lives to highlighting amazing success stories like those of today's nominees. So, Embracing the Future panel, we have our virtual experts here with us, and they're going to tell us what is next in print media, public relations, and in digital marketing, digital technology. So let's meet our panel. First, we have Ken Schlager. He is the editor of New Jersey Monthly Magazine, and he is responsible for all of the editorial in the monthly publication, in addition to everything that goes online at njmonthly.com. Ken also manages the editorial for their sister publication at New Jersey Bride, and prior to joining New Jersey Monthly Magazine, Ken was the editor of Billboard magazine for all of those music lovers out there. Next, we have Deborah Siddig and Karen Caralanza. They are the founders of Green Room PR, and they are also past Top 25 Leading Women Entrepreneurs honorees. So it's amazing to have you with us here and to be working with you at this event. Deb and Karen joined forces 7 years ago, and that's because they had a vision to provide unsurpassed communications support in a smarter, more cost-effective way. And Karen brings more of a decade of corporate experience to the table with her, as she actually launched a PR company for Becton Dickinson over a decade ago. Karen brings more of a decade of broadcast journalism experience with her to the team. She basically focuses in delivering media strategy, executive training, and storytelling expertise without question. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much. And lastly, we have Terry Tadiosian, the founder of SocialFix Media. She is the lead technical engineer at SocialFix Media, which is a New Jersey-based marketing and digital technical agency. It's also women certified. And Terry is focusing not only on the engineering and the technical end, but bringing her creative and innovation and passion to the table for all of her clients. I am actually one of them. Terry and her magnificent team built the Leading Women Entrepreneurs website. For all of you who have not been to it, you can go to lweworld.com. And once again, Terry is making me look like a trendsetter here. And in fact, it must be the theme of the day, since this was the Diet Coke that I picked up this morning. So we appreciate that with this FreeCast technology. Okay, so without further ado, let's go to the Q&A, and we're going to start with you, Ken. Maybe you can answer the question that everyone wants to know, and that is, how do we get covered in New Jersey Monthly Magazine?
Okay, well, thank you, Linda. The first thing I want to mention, first of all, is that New Jersey Monthly is owned by Kate Tomlinson, who certainly is a leading woman entrepreneur by anybody's measure, and she's our publisher and editor-in-chief, and I have the privilege to serve as editor of the magazine under her purview. So how do you get into the magazine? The first rule is show me some love. And by that, I don't mean take me to lunch. I don't mean to lunch. I don't mean send me flowers or champagne. What I mean is read the magazine. If you're going to pitch me on an idea for the magazine, show me that you're familiar with the magazine. If you're not a subscriber, and you should be, but if you're not a subscriber, go to the library, look at a few issues, look at our website, get an idea where your story, the story that you want us to tell about you, might fit in the magazine. Is it something that would go in the garden variety section? Is it something that would go in the style file section, in the ingredient section? We don't do a lot of business stories, so it takes some imagination to see where it might fit in. Look for past stories that we've done that maybe are similar to what you're hoping your message would be. And then, come to me, somebody who comes to me and just says, can you help me get the word out about my company, doesn't get very far with me. Somebody who comes to me and says, I have a great idea for you that I think would be perfect for your garden variety section. Here's why it would interest your readers. That gets you somewhere. I have a sense, first of all, that you're smart enough and care enough to look at the magazine and have a sense of how to mold your story. And by the way, for us, being a kind of a lifestyle magazine, often it's more interesting to tell stories about people than about businesses or institutions. So, don't be afraid to pitch it as a story about yourself as an entrepreneur. We have a story going into the October issue about a young woman in Morristown who's created a cell phone app that can be used by schools to facilitate communication between students and teachers, students and coaches, to create secure communications. Wonderful little story. I get pitched on app ideas a lot. This one just really resonated with me, and she presented it in a way that I could very clearly see this was something that would be interesting and intriguing to our readers. The one other thing I want to mention is for any publication, look at the masthead before you pitch. The masthead will tell you a lot about who's in charge of what. So if you looked at our masthead, you'd see that we have a dining editor. We have a style editor. So you can sort of custom tailor your pitch to specific people within the masthead. But one thing to avoid is pitching to a lot of people. We really don't like these broadcast pitches where somebody, just kind of makes a shotgun blast and hopes that someone will get interested. Usually those are a big turnoff for us. So there's a few ideas about how to crack through this wall. But one of the biggest things I do is decide what goes and what doesn't go. And I'm really, really overwhelmed by pitches, both from freelance writers and from people, businesses and the like. So you really have to mold it in a way that you think will really work for the magazine.
Great, thank you, Ken. And so with all of the information that comes to you through pitches, like from freelance people and from business owners and the such, what do you decide and how do you decide what goes in print and what goes online at njmonthly.com?
Well, as far as what gets in the magazine, a lot of it is just a gut sense of what's going to interest the readers. Mm-hmm. In terms of deciding what goes online and what goes in print, a lot of that is a matter of timing. Now we have a 2-month lead time for the magazine. Right now, as we're talking, we are closing. It's the first couple of days of September, and we're closing our October issue tomorrow. Okay, so I'm already, it's 90 degrees out, and I'm already looking at pictures of fall foliage. So timing is really important. Next week we're going to start on our November issue. So something that has to be timed to go out to the public before November, that's going to go to our website. A lot of things that are personality oriented, are going to go to our website. Things that we think might generate a lot of interest on social media would go to our website. We've been very big on lists lately. Things that somehow work into lists would go on our website. So that's another thing, is to look at our website, look at the kind of stories that are going there, and maybe a pitch that's specific for the website might work even better than something that's specific for the magazine.
How many viewers do you typically have in a month on the New Jersey Monthly website?
It's big. A typical month, we have about 250,000 unique visitors, well over 500,000 unique page views. So it's quite big, and it's actually hungry. The website is hungry for stories.
Okay.
So that's a good way to pitch as well.
Absolutely. So take that as some advice. You might not get into print because of the deadlines and the overwhelming amount of information, but they have a big readership at njmonthly.com, so send your stories in for that too. So Ken, in addition to the website, what kind of new digital products can we expect to see in the future?
Well, we've already started a couple of digital newsletters, which are doing great. They both have more than 50,000 subscribers. They're free newsletters. One is called Side Dish, which is about dining news, and comes out every week. And one is called Weekend Buzz, which is about events, and that comes out every week. Like I said, they have 50,000 subscribers. It's free. Everybody should sign up for those. We're going to be doing more newsletters. I think the next one to come online will be a style and shopping newsletter. We're also looking at doing podcasts. We're talking about starting up a dining podcast because there's tremendous interest in all the dining news that we generate. So we're talking about that. We already have a digital version of the magazine that you can get, and that will in time become more interactive and have more of its own features. Right now, it's just reflective of what's in the magazine. So those are the kind of things we're looking at. We've done some video programming in the past. We'll probably do more of that. But we're not necessarily going to be on the cutting edge of these things, but we're flowing with the wave. Even though we're a 40-year-old magazine, but we're really trying to stay very modern.
Great. Now, is the newsletter something that you would accept pitches and press releases for as well?
The newsletter pretty much reflects material that's already on the website. Basically, what the newsletter does is it links to the stories on the website, serves as a preview of what's on the website. So you could kind of pitch something to the newsletter and the website at the same time.
Okay.
But we don't really generate original content for the newsletters. But in time, we probably will.
Right, because I'm just seeing that as a great opportunity for a lot of different restaurants out there who would like people to know about them, especially and the other topics that you mentioned. Okay, that is great. Thank you so much for all of your input, Ken. And for everyone else, remember that the October issue hits stands, I believe, September 27th. It's on every major newsstand in the state of New Jersey. And that October issue is where you will see all of the finalists listed and the Leading Women Entrepreneurs section. So please pick up a copy of that. And we are going to switch gears in this webcast and move more towards digital marketing. So Terry, let's move to you, and maybe you can start with a little bit on telling us what's next in digital marketing. As business owners, we all want to know. This is a big, overwhelming world.
So what's next in digital marketing is actually something that is that we're currently doing as we speak. So it's live broadcasting, it's live streaming, it's a video in general. Video in terms of the industry has exploded in the last couple of years in general, and we are also seeing this type of effect in terms of our company as well. Initially, when we first started out, a lot of what we focused on was web development. Most businesses at the time were looking to establish a presence online, but that was 10 years ago. Today, what businesses are looking to do is communicate their brand story, communicate their history, provide a context for what they do for their audience. So they're looking to connect with their consumers, they're looking to connect with their clients, and have a real-time conversation. So we are definitely on the verge of the video revolution. It's a huge wave that's coming at us in terms of who can broadcast, who can have a voice, and how that voice gets generated throughout the internet.
So tell me, based on video, how can we maximize SEO? And video, I know, is really interactive with that. Can you give us a few tips on getting more hits out there?
So I'll give you a couple of really mind-blowing stats in terms of video specifically. 89 million people in the United States are going to watch 1.2 billion online videos just today. And this stat comes from ComScore, and it's a couple of months old. So you can imagine each and every day there's more content, there's more video, there's more streaming that gets produced, and more people are utilizing this medium. Globally, online video traffic will be 55% of all consumer internet traffic by next year. So what does that mean for us? We're no longer in a static generation. We are approaching a live stream, live type of environment online where we can have these types of events on a regular basis, and technology is actually keeping up and pushing us forward. Online video production will account for more than 1/3 of all online advertising spending within the next 5 years. Mind-blowing. Again, it's not just digital that is pushing spending forward, it's video. In terms of SEO, the way that you can leverage your video content, and this is with any type of content, it doesn't only apply to video, it applies to everything you do online. whether it's press release, whether it's print advertising that you put out, whether it's an NJ Monthly profile that you have the honor of receiving. You can leverage all of that for your search optimization. Now, what I like to say is SEO is old. Social media is old. Video, it's going to get old before it's even new. Website presence, blogging, all of this stuff that we do, it's just stuff. At the end of the day, what I like to say is that these are just the tools that we use to communicate our message and to communicate our brand. And at the end of the day, it's the way that the internet works. It's just it's been called the same thing from since 1980. It's just the internet. We're simply evolving how we get our message across. So what I would do with video is create a campaign that you work to communicate. So if your goal is more revenue driven and you're looking to drive more sales, then you have one type of campaign, especially for video, in mind. So that could be product driven. It could be more sales driven. I have some mind-blowing stats on what consumers do when they're looking to purchase a product. Most of the conversions happen after they watch a video or after they see a testimonial or a review. So one way, if you're looking to drive sales, is create videos that are communicating the benefit of your product, the benefit of your service, and how that applies to your client or to your consumer. It shouldn't be necessarily feature-based, although you should have videos that do that, but it should really be, what's in it for me? What do I get from utilizing your product or your services? And then write it all up. If you're putting it into YouTube, make sure that all of the fields that they give you are filled out. Make sure that you are documenting, what type of product it is, who's in the video, what type of keywords will a consumer use when they're looking for your product. And video is very easily ranked, so it's a good opportunity to take advantage of.
Great. And then last question is, with all the social media products out there, so Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, is there a few that you recommend? Do you need them all? And what are your thoughts on that, Terry?
So again, depends. So depending on what stage of business you're in, if you're a brand new business, you're a startup, you don't have a lot of content, what we normally recommend is that you focus on 2 or 3 channels based on what your strategy is. And you really work on creating the right message, the right content, produce it well, and then saturate those particular channels. If you are an established brand and you've been in business for a while, but you don't necessarily, have the right strategy, or you haven't really dived into that world, but you have content, because no matter what, a 10-year-old business will have content whether they know it or not. Sometimes you just have to get creative about how you put it out there, but you have content. Now focus on as many channels as you can, and my answer to that is you have to be on all the channels. There's 2 new video channels, Meerkat and Periscope. They are purely live video broadcasting channels. They're brand new and they have exploded. I believe they have over 100 million users already, and they've only been around a couple of months.
Okay, there's a couple more things we got to add into the digital equation here, but I like that, Periscope. We're going to check that out after this. So thank you so much, Terry. There's always something else, and it's a really exciting, it can be a little bit overwhelming world, but thanks for being an expert and steering us in the right direction. So let's go to the world of public relations, which I think is viewed a little bit more as a traditional way of getting the message out there. And we're really interested in hearing from our experts, Deb and Karen, what is the right formula for building a PR campaign?
Yeah, it's been interesting, Linda, hearing Ken and Terry talk, because so much of what makes a good campaign
I think
builds
your
on a lot of
internet
what they
may
said.
have timed out.
First of all, just
Okay.
the objective.
So we're going to give them a call.
Just what is your business
Uh-oh,
objective?
I could hear them. Okay, we're taking a little break for a minute until Deb and Carrie come back.
Are we here? We're here. Can you hear us? Oh, hello?
But, while we're waiting, I'm thinking maybe Ken, do you have any ideas on what you see in terms of how digital media is impacting the New Jersey Monthly space specifically, or what type of trends are you seeing on your end in terms of what's a great approach to take when pitching a magazine?
In terms of digital and marketing, we're interested in getting sponsors, sponsors for digital programming. If we're going to do things like podcasting, newsletters, digital versions, all the things we were talking about, videos, we like those to be sponsored. So it's an opportunity for a marketer to kind of create what's being called a roadblock, to kind of have a specific part of the website or a specific product that's all theirs. And it's a presented by kind of situation. And that makes a lot more sense to us than kind of the first generation of marketing on the web with just very traditional ads, different types of shapes, banners and the like. I don't think from anybody's point of view, from either the media outlets or the marketers, that they were an overwhelming success. But the idea of sponsoring a specific program or sponsoring a particular type of media or publication or electronic publication seems to be working very well for a lot of marketers.
Great, thank you. All right, great. We have our PR experts back, and let's go back to the question of what is the right formula for an effective PR campaign, regardless of what level of business you're in.
I think that the first thing you have to do is you have to know what your business are. Relations to put a press release out, or to see yourself on TV or in the news or in headlines. You really are trying to drive a particular business objective, and knowing what that is and being very clear from the outset is the first step. From that point on, you have to know your audience and know where they're communicating. So are you looking to target women? And these days, the big the buzzword in PR is this hyper-local or hyper-targeting approach, because you can get so specific about who you're trying to reach. You're not, kind of throwing spaghetti against a wall and seeing what sticks anymore. You can actually target, women at a particular age, at a point in their life with a particular message. As Ken said a little earlier, if you're trying to target those women with the gardening tips, they have that garden variety section in their magazine. So knowing that those opportunities exist and being very targeted and specific about who you're trying to reach and what you're trying to say is critical. The message is critical as well. We have a kind of a proven methodology here at Green Room we use, where we help companies to articulate their messages in the form of a message map, and having that map and using that as your roadmap for all communications, whether you're having a speaking engagement, whether you're tweeting, putting something on Facebook, LinkedIn, putting things in your press releases. Having those messages be consistent and constant are really important, especially in today's world where we're hearing and we're inundated with so many messages and so many different things all the time from companies. Hearing the same thing over and over, you think about Nike, just do it. We all know that. What is your message, and how can you make it concise and relevant? And then who's going to deliver it? Your spokespeople are really important, making sure they're comfortable with the messages and to deliver them. And then making sure you have that news flow. Again, talking about the timing. Every company has relevant information and newsworthy information. Knowing what are your opportunities to tell that story, and making sure you kind of have that steady cadence of news that comes out over the course of the year so that you're constantly staying in front of your customers is really important. And then, much to what Terry said, once you have your channels in place and you figure out where your audiences are communicating, you want to just syndicate those channels, create your content, and just put it out over all of those, over and over. Syndicating, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and reinvent messages every time. You can have that one message and continue to tell it in different ways and really use the power of storytelling to make your messages come alive.
Right. Now, do you continue to pitch to the same journalist regardless? If you put together a campaign, are you emailing the same journalist throughout the year, or do you try and mix up all the journalists that you send it to?
It depends on the message. So I think that, obviously, we work in the healthcare space. So if there's data from some of our companies or very specific healthcare related announcements,
Right.
we'll go toward publications that are interested in covering data. But, there also is a patient side to that story. So, again, it's knowing what are the different milestones and who are the audiences that are going to care about that information and making it relevant for them. So your message may tweak a little bit depending on the audience, but knowing what those messages are and what those milestones are, and making sure you pulse them out to the relevant audiences is the most important thing.
Great. Okay, so next question. Let's say we have $100,000 to spend on a PR campaign. Where do you put your money?
So I'll take this one. And first of all, talk about traditional public relations. Deb and I feel like old school traditional TV news anchors, sitting close, but close to
A
close.
little like that in the Brady Bunch.
So a little bit old school. So Linda, that's a great question. And gone are the days of the multi-million-dollar PR budgets and PR campaigns. Back in the day, we used to work on what we called the one-hit wonder campaigns, where we had several $1 million to hire celebrities and put, things in Times Square and send out multiple press releases, over the course of the day. Now, with budgets getting tighter and organizations getting leaner, what we like to do is consider PR as a series of projects. So if you have $100,000, you don't spend $100 in one PR event or one PR news event. You pulse it out, as Deb said, over time. What are your messages? What are what I have a dear friend and colleague used to call your moments in time? So what are those big milestones that as a company or organization you must achieve to be successful? And really pulse out and use that budget very, very strategically over the course of the year. So that may mean that you take a news flow that Deb talked about and identify what are those big things happening, who is going to speak to them from either my company or as an outsider, as an expert, and pull together a strategy that cuts across the year versus spending it all at one big event or in one big meeting. And I always like to say, not everything is newsworthy. Some people viewing this today know I say this quite a bit. That's not news. So you really need to look at your news flow and the milestones and really pressure test. Is this newsworthy? Should I be putting my eggs in this basket? And then, as Deb mentioned, depending on who you're speaking to and what you're trying to accomplish, use the right channels to communicate. If you're going to send out a press release, make sure that if it's to an audience, let's say maybe in the 20 to 35-year-old range, that you're also syndicating that information through the proper social media channels. For maybe older adults, it's looking at some of the publications they read or some of the ways they get their news, maybe via radio in the car, like my 80-plus-year-old father. That's how he gets his news. So knowing who you're trying to communicate to and then matching the channel and then keeping that $100,000 really well understood throughout the year is as a series of projects versus one big campaign is how we like to guide and counsel our clients.
So maybe one of you could share a testimonial story of the perfect PR situation where someone did end up in Times Square on the cover of the biggest newspaper. Got any testimonials like that?
UK woman. the UK woman who was it like?
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, that's a great one. We worked with Sean Green, who is she was started out just as a British tourist who came to the United States, and when she was having a hot dog in Times Square, an incident of road rage happened, and a taxi cab driver and a cyclist got into an argument. The taxi cab ended up severing her leg, and she lost her leg. And so we basically did issues management, working with her, following her from everywhere from the Today Show to Dr. Oz to, I mean, every tabloid and publication you can imagine, managing her media requests and just helping her figure out what's her message. I mean, she wanted to take the opportunity and turn it into something good. So she knew that this just wasn't an interview. She knew this was her moment to shine. And how could she harness the power of the media to channel that into something for her to make a career out of? So that was probably our biggest, as far as the media calling us like crazy, having us in lights, was really was very, very prime time, very much prime time.
And then one more to add, Linda. We do a lot of work in the healthcare space, so it may not be as sexy as some of these other stories that people hear on the news, but healthcare is a part of our everyday and relevant to every single consumer and every single person on this webcast. So one of the things that we chose to do is work with a company who was launching a new women's contraceptive. And when you talk about contraceptive, women, controversy, governments, religions, all that came together, and we were able to position our one of our spokespeople, and so that they were actually in Business Week, Bloomberg, and it also became a cover story for Time magazine. So I think if you have the right issue and the right timing with the right spokespeople, you can make it happen. It has to be relevant, has to be timely, and it has to mean something. The so what factor is so important.
Oh, that's a good way to put it, the so what factor. So we'll be tweeting some of these tips. This has been really resourceful, and thank you so much to this panel for all of your resourceful and actionable insight. And I hope that the viewers here have all learned something and all can, after this conference, apply this to their own business. Your information is up there, and I will add, in terms of all of this media conversation, don't forget, everybody should share that they are a Leading Woman Entrepreneur finalist on Twitter. If you haven't liked Leading Women Entrepreneurs on Facebook, please do so. We are live tweeting right now. Last year, this Twitter event reached over 9 million. And I believe that this FreeCast virtual panel is tape recorded, so hopefully we'll get this out on, what was it you said, Periscope, and other media outlets, and on YouTube. So thank you, Ken, Deb, Karen, and Terry. And I'll say goodbye to you. I don't know if we're going to disappear off screen, but we will be announcing the top 25 after this very short break. No, I'm totally kidding. I just really want to say that. So they say that on every show, don't they? So we'll stay here until Vic lets you guys disappear. I'll just give some more comments before we make the announcements. So believe it or not, the pool of candidates this year it becomes more and more competitive. And in fact, this year we reached a record of almost 500 nominations. And there is such a wide, diverse group, a pool of candidates, that it is an incredibly difficult task. I can't stress that enough. I can't thank the advisory board enough for helping to narrow this down. I also will once again thank all of our sponsors, TD Bank, Cohn-Resnick, MicroStrategies, Comcast, Morgan Stanley, and like I said, SocialFix. But all of these nominations are really reflecting the amazing pool of talent that we have right here in our backyard. And I think that's something we should all be very proud of. And as I said earlier, all of the finalists will be reflected and printed in the October issue of New Jersey Monthly Magazine. So please pick up a copy of that. And wherever you are in your career path, you have limitless opportunities ahead. It is our absolute privilege here at Leading Women Entrepreneurs to be the champion for all of you and for all women leaders in the greater New York area. And please remember, if your name is not announced, all of the finalists, you should all be so proud because you are truly, truly amazing. And one last thing, please save the date for the Embracing the Future event. It's going to be held on November 16th. Which is a Monday at the Liberty House in Jersey City. We have a VIP room which starts at 5. Regular attendance is at 6. We have a VIP media room, so a lot of different media will be there. Many different professionals from New Jersey and New York. It's an outstanding networking experience. So regardless if you're an honoree, you are definitely invited to attend. And that's basically it. So I will thank the panelists. I will thank the panelists again, and we will go from there. So thank you, and here we are to hear the Twitter and the virtual drum roll of the announcements. We're going to start with the top 25 entrepreneurs, and first up, we have Shelly Aberson of ANW Branded Products. Congratulations, Shelly Aberson, President of ANW Branded Products, a company known for high-quality branded promotional products. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Anita Allen, congratulations, President and Managing Partner of Allen Advisory Group, an outstanding boutique management consulting firm. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Anne Marie Almausi, President of Almausi Companies and woman wave maker in the world of construction and trucking. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Abby Ayub, congratulations, the CEO of the Optical Academy, licensed optician and inventor. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Cheryl Byron, President and CEO of One Horn Transportation and leader in the trucking and transportation world. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Kathy Koloff, President, founder of IT Radix and innovator in technology system design. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Donna Conroy, President at Cymar One LLC and Cymar Technologies, a leading force in technological marketing and data mining. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Linda Gardner, President and CEO at Brent Material Company, the leading distributor of construction materials for underground utilities systems. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Jessica Gonzalez, the founder who is in charge of InCharged, an innovative company providing cell phone charging stations virtually anywhere. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations to Debbie Hart, President and CEO of BioNJ, the Life Sciences Association of New Jersey. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations to Krista Korinis and Marge McCabe, founders of Global Installation Resources, a woman-owned company specializing in office furniture. You are both top 25 leading women entrepreneurs. Congratulations, Nancy Lee, President at MyRegistry.com, the leading online universal gift registry service. You are a top 25 leading women entrepreneur. Congratulations, Danielle Lindner, founder of the London Day School, an innovator in the field of early childhood education. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Paula Lombard, president at Wexco Industries, a powerhouse distributor in the windshield wiper market. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Catherine Luton, president of Luton Associates, which is top-ranking energy management consulting firm. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Jane Millard, CEO of Turtle & Hughes, Inc., one of the largest independent electrical and industrial distributors in the U.S. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Jennifer Naughton, president and CEO of Radiant Resources, a company that provides technical solutions. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Terry O'Connor, president of Terry O'Connor Realtors, a leader in the real estate industry. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Dina Opeachy of Opeachy Family Distributing, one of New Jersey's premier wine companies. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Sangeeta Patel, founder of Embrace Your Inner Self and the global organization of self-healing. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Deborah Pinto, president of Infinite Energy Corp and Definite Energy Corp, which promotes clean, renewable fuels. You are a top 25 leading women entrepreneur. Congratulations, Mindy Rosner-Zaziski, CEO and president at FYI Systems, leader in the field of technology. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. And congratulations, Joy Taylor, CEO of Tagan Point Consulting Group, one of the fastest growing management consulting firms in New Jersey. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Gail Whiting, owner of Design Consultants and one of New Jersey's most creative and sought-after interior designers. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations, Marcella Zukovicki, president and CEO of Jalima & Associates, a company focused on providing accounting services and growth strategies to small businesses. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur. Congratulations to the top 25 leading women entrepreneurs. Now announcing our new intrapreneur category, which is the thought leaders who work for bigger corporations. Congratulations, Sue Boyle, Senior Environmental Practice Leader at GEI Consultants, a company devoted to environmental remediation and sustainability practices. You are a top 25 leading woman intrapreneur. Congratulations, Dr. Prapagash, Medical Director of Robotic Surgical Services at Hunterdon Medical Center, specializing in urology, which has traditionally been a male-dominated field of medicine. You are a top 25 leading woman intrapreneur. Congratulations, Sherry Shafir, Associate Director of Supplier Diversity at Novartis. You are a top 25 leading woman intrapreneur. Congratulations, Judith Sheft, Head of New Jersey Innovation Institute at NJIT. You are a top 25 leading woman intrapreneur. Congratulations, Tracy Straka, Executive Vice President at Creamer Environmental. You are a top 25 leading woman intrapreneur. And congratulations, Lisa Walsh, partner at Connell Foley. You are a top 25 leading woman intrapreneur. And lastly, we have our nonprofit category winner, and special congratulations to Michelle Gannon, founder of Mary's Place by the Sea, an incredible organization devoted to caring for women dealing with the stresses of cancer. You are a top 25 leading woman entrepreneur in the nonprofit category. Thank you to everyone. Congratulations to all of this year's honoree. Remember, as finalists, you are amazing. You are a personal inspiration to me and to everyone here at Leading Women Entrepreneurs. Again, thank you all for joining us, and mark your calendars for November 16th.